Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what time it is? Well, if you don't, I'll let you know. It is my favorite time of the week because that means we're about to save some money on some great Nintendo and Nintendo Switch 2 games. Digital, physical, we got it all. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. That's right, it is time to save some money on some fantastic games, some amazing games for some amazing deals. But before we do that, if you look over here, that's right here, here's the winner of a Nintendo Eshop gift card. But if we look over here, here is a look over here. Here's the winner of another Nintendo Eshop gift card. If you'd like to have this same opportunity every single week, or the opportunity to potentially win a Nintendo Switch 2, all you have to do is be a subscriber, be following me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep our communities growing, and like and comment to help the algorithm. That's it. And every single week, this is my small way of giving back to my amazing community. But we have some amazing deals that we just need to talk about them. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, let's start with Little Nightmares 2, and this is currently $2.99. This is 90% off on the Nintendo Eshop, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. I feel like this game just came out like a year or two ago, but time is just moving so quick that I didn't realize this came out all the way back in 2021. So, even though it's a couple years old, this game holds up incredibly well. I mean, truly like a timeless game. What's great though is I want to say in the next month or two, or at least sometime this year, but I feel like it's coming up sooner than later, the third entry in this game is coming out. So this would be the perfect time to play through this, kind of get familiar with what's going on, and then jump into a brand new adventure. Blue Fire is currently $3.99. This is 80% off on the Nintendo Eshop, and again, the lowest price this game has ever been. Maybe 2 years ago or something like that, I was trying to make a video about games that are similar to Zelda, and that's when I first learned about this game. And I want to say I picked it up for like $10 or something like that. I know I picked it up on sale. This turned out to be a fantastic game. They gave me a feeling where it's like, you're experiencing something great, but you can't quite explain what's going on. And it was truly a brand new adventure. Like, I never knew what I was going to expect around the next corner, or what bosses I would fight, or what areas I would discover. And it was such a refreshing experience. So for $4, I mean, this one is a no-brainer, especially if you like games similar to The Legend of Zelda. A really cool game called Tiny Thor is currently $4.99. This is 75% off on the Nintendo Eshop, and do I gotta say it? Well, I guess I kinda do, because it's true. It's the lowest price this game has ever been. This is an amazing game right here. I guess this is a 2D platformer. I don't think it's a Metroidvania. Sometimes I get those two confused. But it has such a unique mechanic to where, your name is Thor, so obviously you have Thor's hammer, and you use that hammer to like kind of get around and kill enemies, but do all these cool maneuvers, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. Just know you're Thor, you got a hammer, the hammer does some pretty badass stuff, the game looks fantastic, it's a lot of fun, it's about 10 hours, so a pretty solid game as well, and this is the lowest price this game has ever been. Now let's talk about a really cool game called Roki. This is currently $1.99, and that's 90% off on the eShop, and guess what, pal? This is the lowest price this game has ever been. In this game, you'll join Totk on a fantastical journey to save her family. A journey that takes her deep into a hidden and long-forgotten world of lost folklore filled with strange locations and even stranger creatures. Explore the ancient wilderness, solve its mysteries, and save your family in this modern adventure game that pretty much everybody can enjoy. This game is great because it's almost like an adventure game where you're exploring, but it's also like a puzzle game, almost. I hate comparing it to Zelda, but it's almost like a toned down version of that. I think the art style is beautiful, and this game is only $2. Eldest Souls is also on sale for $1.99. This is 90% off on the Nintendo Eshop, and I've said it once, I've said it twice, probably 4 or 5 times now. Again, the lowest price this game has ever been. This is a fantastic eShop sale. Following centuries of servitude, man finally rebels against the old gods, imprisoning these colossal calamities within the sacred walls of the citadel. But an evil stirred within. In an act of vengeance, the old gods have unleashed a great desolation upon the world. Mankind is fading, but a glimmer of hope is remaining. Heavy is the burden that lies on one lone warrior. armed with a great sword of pure obsidian. Fast-paced, challenging Souls-like combat awaits, where every moment counts. Yet fortune favors are bold, and defeating the old gods may grant the players powers beyond mortal comprehension. So, I personally have not played this game, but it's only $2. It sounds badass. It looks amazing. This is one I would definitely take a chance on. Now, a game I have played and is one of my favorite games of all time is Cursed to Golf. This is currently $2.99. This is 85% off on the eShop. And buddy, can you guess what I'm about to say? The lowest price this game has ever been. I adore this game so much. I have spent years playing it at this point. It's a game you can jump in and play for 10 minutes, or you can play for 10 hours. You're going to have fun no matter what you're doing. You're a golfer who is sent to purgatory because you get struck by lightning, and you need to golf out of purgatory, which is 18 levels or 18 holes. But if you lose on any hole, you go back to the beginning, but it's procedurally generated, so you never play the same hole twice, which is really cool. And there's a million different power-ups and abilities and mechanics that make it fun and refreshing. And then sometimes you get little power-ups to where you can save your spot, so if you die, you don't have to go back to the beginning. But every time you play it, it feels like the first time. Do not sleep on this one. Blasphemous is currently on sale for $6.24, and this is 75% off on the Nintendo Eshop. I know people who play Blasphemous really enjoy it, myself included. I think it's fantastic. I always say it's a game that reminds me of Hollow Knight the most. Like, it's a Metroidvania, it's very difficult, the graphics are fantastic. I'm not comparing it to Hollow Knight, but I'm just saying it reminds me of that. For some reason, Blasphemous, I know this could be wrong, right? But I feel like it gets almost no love. Like, you might hear somebody mention it here and there, but it has like no staying power, and I don't understand why. Because in my opinion, it is a masterpiece. Truly a masterpiece for less than $7. And there's a second one. I have not got around to playing that one yet, but I have seen gameplay and I know it does everything, better than this one. And this one is truly a masterpiece. Like, it is a perfect 10 out of 10 game. It has some of the coolest enemies and bosses in any game of all time. So, play this for less than $7. Like, what are we doing here? Undertale is also on sale, and this is $9.89, and that's 34% off on the Nintendo Eshop. I think one of you guys just asked me on Instagram like a few days ago if I'd played Undertale, and I was saying I have played it, I haven't beat it, I probably put like 5 hours into it. It was very fun, very interesting, very different, really cool characters, great music, great location, strange battling system, but cool battling system. I just got caught up in a million other things, so it's something I do want to revisit. It's really cool that we have Deltarune as well, chapters 1 through 4 now, which is like in the same universe, I believe. So, if you want to be an Undertale fan, this is a fantastic time to be one. It really is one of the coolest RPGs I've ever played, though. And yeah, man, $10, not a bad way to go. Kraino Origins is currently on sale for $5.39, and this is 55% off on the Nintendo Eshop. Sometimes you'll see like gameplay or a trailer for a game, and just by looking at that, you'll know you're going to enjoy it, right? And some trailers can be deceiving. Sometimes you'll see a trailer, you'll play a game, and you're like, what the hell is this? This is nothing like the trailer. The first time I seen a trailer of this game, it like triggered nostalgia in me for some reason. I think the reason was because it reminded me of like old Saturday morning cartoons or something like that. It just gave me that vibe. But I played it, and I was like, yep, I freaking love this game. It is fantastic. It is a fairly short game though. I want to say about 3 hours, so you can play it in one sitting. But yeah, it's just a fantastic game for a really good price. We're also going to go over some physical games as well today. So we have Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake. This is currently on sale for $34.99, and that is 42% off. And you can pick this up at Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, and Target. So whatever one is your preference, they've got it there. I bought this full price, $60, and loved it, every single second of it. Yes, it is a classic JRPG, but a remake, but it still has like that charm of classic JRPGs, and the battling was very reminiscent of that time. So maybe just keep that in mind if you've never played like a classic JRPG, but it is so damn good. And a great thing about this is Dragon Quest Remake 1 and 2 is coming out in the next month or two for the Switch and the Nintendo Switch 2. So this would just be a great time, to jump into these. Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is currently $47.99. That's 20% off physically at Woot. And I always like to mention that Woot, I believe, is owned by Amazon, so it's a very trustworthy site, and you can trust them. That's what trustworthy means, so I don't know why I had to say that twice, but this is one of the greatest games, in my opinion, Nintendo has released. I think it's awesome. They released this like leading into the Switch 2 because they easily could have held this for the Nintendo Switch 2. I think I read somewhere that it's looking and running better on the Switch 2, but in my opinion, it's a damn marvel on the Switch. Like, it is such a grand game. It is a massive game. And I'm not even kidding saying this. I have heard multiple, like 10 plus people say they have put over 100 hours in this game. And you could probably beat it in like 40 or 50 if you're just, running through stuff. But they spent 100 hours because they couldn't stop playing it. So I've been wanting to pick this up physically for a while. $48 is very tempting, so this is actually on my radar now as well. We have Mario Kart World for the Nintendo Switch 2, physically at Woot, 10% off for $71.99. If you didn't pick up the Mario Kart bundle for the Nintendo Switch 2, or maybe you did, I've actually seen quite a few people double dipping on this game because they got the Mario Kart bundle, but they want to own it physically, and I can't really hate on that. I started collecting games physically this year with the Switch and Switch 2, so I don't think I could personally do that, but I understand it. This is a fantastic game, right? It's $80, which I'm not happy about, but Nintendo is going to support this game for the next decade easy. And just right now, it is a massive game. There's so many things to do, and it has some of the best courses in history. In my opinion, this is going to win Soundtrack of the Year at the Game Awards, and if it doesn't, we're going to riot. So, yeah, you're saving almost $10, right? The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, the Switch 2 edition, is currently $61.99, and that is 11% off physically at Woot. I own this and Tears of the Kingdom already on my Switch digitally, so I just had to pay $10 for the upgrades. I did it for Tears of the Kingdom. I didn't do it for Breath of the Wild because I beat it like 4 times, so I'm like, I need to stop playing this damn game. I can say the Tears of the Kingdom one it's basically like a remastered version. It's truly the definitive way to play it now. But I've seen gameplay of Breath of the Wild on the Switch 2. It looks crazy. And I always like to say I envy people who are playing Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild for the first time on the Switch 2, because that's got to be a peak experience. So, yeah, man, again, you're saving almost $10 here. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition is currently $62.99, and that is 10% off on the Nintendo Eshop, and this is the lowest price it's ever been, at least on Nintendo platforms. I talked about this last week, but I want to mention it as well this week. I think there's about 5 or 6 days left in this sale, so I own this physically on my Switch 2, but it's a game I could easily buy digitally because it's something you can play 100 times, truly 100 times. I've heard people play 10 different times and have 10 different experiences. There's different playthroughs, different character types. I'm playing it for the second time on the Switch 2 right now after beating it and the DLC on my PS5, and I feel like I'm having a 100% different experience this time. So yeah, I can't praise this game enough, man. Definitely check this one out if you want to. And The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition is currently $52.99 on Aniba.com. This is a Game Keys website where you can just buy the key, which is basically the code to download it on the eShop. This is a fantastic deal. This is almost $30 off the full price. And like I was saying earlier, I do have the Switch 2 version of this. I don't know what it is, man. It's making me appreciate the game more. I'm getting into it more than I did on the Switch. And I had to force myself to stop playing it because of all the other great Switch 2 games that are out. But I cannot wait to jump back into this. So yeah, dude, almost $30 off here. There is some amazing Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 games on sale. It's the best console ever, you know what I mean? So stock up on these games and put them in the backlog. Buy some physical games, put those in the backlog. Collect them, do whatever you want with them. But if you're looking to buy some games, you might as well do it while they're on sale, right? So if you made it to this part of the video, in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. Any games you've picked up recently, any games you're going to pick up, any games you're playing, just start a conversation. And remember, I give away eShop gift cards every single Saturday. This week, I'll be giving away the first Nintendo Switch 2, and then more as the year goes on. And we're also about to hit 20,000 subscribers, so shout out to you guys. But you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.